So what is the long-term future of Canadian oil prices given the instability in Venezuela? Our next guest has been in the industry here and in Venezuela for the last 35 years. Jorge Robles is founder and CEO of an engineering consulting firm, Oaks Hill Engineering, and he joins us now. And thank you very much for being on the show. Venezuela is estimated to have the world's largest oil reserves. So what impact do you think there will be with what's happening in Venezuela on global oil?
Thank you, Ian, for having me. In short term, I would say that almost nothing. I mean, the reserves are nothing until you can produce them and transport them and sell them. So I would say that short term is very little impact. It will take years for PDVSA or the Venezuelan industry to recover from the malpractices of 25 years.
Okay, so something you know very well, but a lot of the people watching may not. Given these huge oil reserves in Venezuela, given a history of being an oil-producing country, why will it take so long to get a significant increase in the amount of oil out of the ground in Venezuela to world markets?
Well, because the infrastructure in some cases is destroyed. I mean, they are not following safety and environmental procedures. So literally some of the stations are gone. They caught fire and they are gone. And the ones that are still working, they are in very reduced capacity because lack of maintenance and investment. And regarding the reservoirs, there is a good way and a bad way to produce. Imagine the reservoir like the cow. You are milking the cow. You have to take care of the cow. The reservoir is the same. You have to make sure that you are producing the oil in a rational way to make sure that you are not damaging the reservoir, sometimes beyond repair. I don't have any idea how much damage they have caused to the reservoirs in Venezuela, but I'm pretty sure that it's bad.
And now the question is, who's going to take care of the cow, to continue your metaphor? Maybe there'll be a change of government in Venezuela. Maybe there won't be. Maybe the United States will control things. Maybe it won't. Maybe U.S. oil companies will have a greater role. There's so many questions here. How do you feel about those kinds of issues?
Well, this week I feel way more optimistic because I can tell you, Ian, until last week, we have been suffering from the regime for many years. So some people, and I thank them for being concerned about Venezuelan rights and Venezuelan sovereignty. But let's face it, Venezuela hasn't been a sovereign state for many years. It has been under the influence of Cuba, Russia, China, etc., and a narco regime that has been really oppressing the people. So thank you to the United States for what they did, for taking this criminal to jail. And next step, we will have to negotiate. As taking the words from Greenland and Danish Prime Minister is that Venezuela is open for business, but it's not for sale. So we want to recover our democracy as an independent nation. And that is for the benefit not only for Venezuela, but also for the United States, because only under that kind of environment, a company like PDVSA or whatever they want to call it in the future, it will be able to reflourish and then produce the oil. Now, threatened for Canada, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, sorry, but I just wanted to say, we're talking to you because of your expertise in the oil industry, both in Venezuela and in Canada, but also as a former Venezuelan. And I just wonder if I can talk to you on that sort of more personal level. Have you been in touch with family back there? How do you feel about what they're facing right now?
Yeah, the fear is still for the regime. If you ask them, are they fearless because of the military from the United States? Not really. They are still, when they go out, they have to hide at home their telephones because the regime is still there. And they are concerned about going to jail because, or having to pay the police, the corrupt policemen to avoid jail. And I urge people to stop worrying about the effect of the potential oil from Venezuela coming into the market. Let's worry now about the prisoners. I mean, the political prisoners are still about probably 1,000, and they might be tortured today as we are speaking. So that is the kind of conversation that should be happening right now, not about the effect of oil, Venezuelan oil in the market.
So maybe I'll ask you one last question that is not about oil, but it's about the future of Venezuela. How do you hope the transition in government takes place? Who should be in control after this interim period?
Well, after this interim period, we already have a leader, and that leader is a Nobel Prize, is Maria Corina Machado. That's the leader of the opposition. And we have a president elected who is Edmundo González Urrutia. Ideally, that will be the thing. Is that in the cards? Well, do we have to go to another election? I don't know. I mean, those are political questions. But definitively, Venezuelans have done everything in our power to move to a peaceful democracy, and we haven't been able to do it. So only under the military influence of that is happening right now, we see some hope. So we need to make sure that we use that power to move out all the criminals, because Maduro wasn't the only one. So now we have to use that power to move all the other criminals out of the government and then hand over the government to the democratic ruling of either Edmundo González or Maria Corina Machado.
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, but one thing is for sure, a lot of Canadians are paying a lot more attention to Venezuela today than we were a week ago, and maybe some good will come of that. Jorge Robles, founder and CEO of Oaks Hill Engineering. Thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.